We all come from different places, different paths, different spaces, bringing so many questions, bringing our pain. We come from different families. Each of us has a story. Stumbling into the light, I see people like you and me. In this room, we listen to the truth that sets us free. In this room, we open our hearts and we can clearly see how the path has brought us all right here. We're safe, we're strong, our friends are near. And there is nothing left to fear, 'cause we're home in this room. In this room, we value complete acceptance of who we are. In this room, we walk towards complete forgiveness. In this room, we learn. The learning never ends. And we can choose anytime we want to begin again. In this room, we listen to the truth that sets us free. In this room, we open our hearts and we can clearly see how the path has brought us all right here. We're safe, we're strong, our friends are near. And there is nothing left to fear, 'cause we're home in this room. In this room, there's gold dust in the air. In this room, possibility everywhere. In this room we stand when our hearts are torn. In this room, a new way of being together is being born. In this room, we listen to the truth that sets us free. In this room, we open our hearts and we can clearly see how the path has brought us all right here. We're safe, we're strong, our friends are near. And there is nothing left to fear, 'cause we're home in this room. In this room, we open our hearts. In this room, we grow together. In this room, we accept one another. In this room, We all come from different places, different paths, different spaces, bringing so many questions, bringing our pain. We come from different families. Each of us has a story. Stumbling into the light, I see people like you and me. In this room, we listen to the truth that sets us free. In this room, we open our hearts and we can clearly see how the path has brought us all right here. We're safe, we're strong, our friends are near. And there is nothing left to fear, 'cause we're home in this room. In this room, we value complete acceptance of who we are. In this room, we walk towards complete forgiveness. In this room, we learn. The learning never ends. And we can choose anytime we want to begin again. In this room, we listen to the truth that sets us free. In this room, we open our hearts and we can clearly see how the path has brought us all right here. We're safe, we're strong, our friends are near. And there is nothing left to fear, 'cause we're home in this room. In this room, there's gold dust in the air. In this room, possibilities everywhere. In this room we stand when our hearts are torn. In this room, a new way of being together is being born. In this room, we listen to the truth that sets us free. In this room, we open our hearts and we can clearly see how the path has brought us all right here. We're safe, we're strong, our friends are near. And there is nothing left to fear, 'cause we're home in this room. In this room, we open our hearts. In this room, we grow together. In this room, we accept one another. In this room, and we learn to love. from different places, different paths, different spaces, bringing so many questions, bringing our pain. We come from different families. Each of us has a story. Stumbling into the light, I see people like you and me. In this room, we listen to the truth that sets us free. In this room, we open our hearts and we can clearly see how the path has brought us all right here. We're safe, we're strong, our friends are near. And there is nothing left to fear, 'cause we're home in this room. In this room, we value complete acceptance of who we are. In this room, we walk towards complete forgiveness. In this room, we learn. The learning never ends. And we can choose anytime we want to begin again. In this room, we listen to the truth that sets us free. In this room, we open our hearts and we can clearly see how the path has brought us all right here. We're safe, we're strong, our friends are near. And there is nothing left to fear, 'cause we're home in this room. In this room, there's gold dust in the air. In this room, possibilities everywhere. In this room we stand when our hearts are torn. In this room, a new way of being together is being born. In this room, we listen to the truth that sets us free. In this room, we open our hearts and we can clearly see how the path has brought us all right here. We're safe, we're strong, our friends are near. And there is nothing left to fear, 'cause we're home in this room. In this room, we open our hearts. In this room, we grow together. In this room, we accept one another. In this room, and we learn to love. In this room, from different places, different paths, different spaces, bringing so many questions, bringing our pain. We come from different families. Each of us has a story. Stumbling into the light, I see people like you and me. In this room, we listen to the truth that sets us free. In this room, we open our hearts and we can clearly see how the path has brought us all right here. We're safe, we're strong, our friends are near. And there is nothing left to fear, 'cause we're home in this room.
Yeah, it's rich. It's a very rich sound.
Good morning, good morning, good morning.
Morning.
Everybody ready to sing? We got some singing to do. So our community songs this month are Eddie Watkins Jr., We Come Together, Ricky Byers' How Can I Serve, and then our closing song will be I Release. So let's get started. Good morning to everybody online. Sing loud enough in your living room that we can hear you here. Here we go. Vaughn, you might want to turn that up a little bit. You can look at the person next to you. Say, I love you and I love you too. Now feel the love in the sanctuary. Lift your voice and repeat after me. We come together. We come together. We come together. In the name of love, we come together. We come together. We come together. In the name of love. Now look at the person next to you. Next to you. Sorry about that. Say, God eyes the God in you. Feel the love in the sanctuary. Now lift your voice and repeat after me. We come together. We come together. We come together. In the name of love, we come together. We come together. We come together in the name of love. From every walk of life, every creed and color, in kinship we unite, in honor of the God in each other. Take a look at the person next to you. Namaste, I bow to you. Feel the love in the sanctuary. Lift your voice and repeat after me. Oh, we come together. We come together. We come together. In the name of love, we come together. We come together. We come together. In the name of love, we come together. We come together. We come together. In the name of love. Excellent, excellent. Now I'm going to turn it over to Miss Rebecca, our presider this morning.
Good morning, everybody. Morning. My name is Rebecca Bell. Welcome to our Sunday celebration. Whether you're here in person or joining us virtually, we would greatly appreciate it if you'd help us bring more of us together in spiritual community by sharing this live stream on whatever social media platforms you use, whenever it's convenient for you. Thank you. If this is your first time experiencing Columbia Center for Spiritual Living, welcome. We want you to know that whoever you are, whatever your spiritual path you're on, and wherever you are on that spiritual path, you are welcome and celebrated here. And now, let's remember who we are. Our vision is contributing to a world that works for everyone. We are a diverse community of belonging and growth, sharing the light and joy within ourselves while learning to see it in others. Guided by Spirit, together we build a joyously engaged, inclusive community intent on uplifting and transforming lives. We are a welcoming, inclusive spiritual center where everyone can be seen and heard. We lovingly practice the principles of science of mind in the world. Here are a few ways that you can connect with and engage in spiritual community. There are 2 live-streamed daily spiritual practice offerings. The first is 365 days of richer 365 days of richer living, reading, meditation, and prayer at 6 a.m. Eastern daily, and you can catch it on the video if you're not up at 6 a.m. And just for today, eclectic readings, interactive discussion, meditation, and prayer, which is on 10 a.m. Eastern Time on Tuesday through Saturday. There are 2 online spiritual book study options. The first is The Numinous Factor, The Spiritual Basis of Science and of Life by John L. Walker. That meets on Tuesday evenings from 5 to 6:30. It's on Zoom. And the second one, Build the Life You Want, The Art and Science of Getting Happier by Arthur C. Brooks and Oprah Winfrey. That meets on Thursday evenings, 6:30 to 8, and I have been to a couple of them, and they are really, really fun. This week, our monthly women's gathering meets on Tuesday, March 4th at 7 p.m. on Zoom. You can access the registration link on our website in the newsletter. Are you the missing piece? There are numerous current Sunday service opportunities. We have video tech team, audio tech team, the welcome team, hospitality team, readers, community values, and presiders. So if you are interested in any one of them, let us know. Our website calendar is at columbiacsl.com/events. Email your questions to info@columbiacsl.com or call or text our office at 410-750-8559. So, speaking of engagement, we come together on Sundays to celebrate life. So let's get to it with our next community song.
All right. Okay. Well, it would help if I brought the right lyrics up. We are not a mistake-adverse society. We make mistakes. We let them be okay. All right. So this one is a Ricky Byers song, How Can I Serve? Hopefully you're familiar with it. If not, you're about to be. Here we go. How can I serve today, sweet Spirit? How can I serve today, oh Lord? Speak in ways that I will understand. Where you lead me, I will follow. Where you lead me, I will go. How can I serve today, sweet Spirit? How can I serve today, oh Lord? Speak in ways that I will understand. Where you lead me, I will follow. Where you lead me, I will go. Who needs my love today, sweet Spirit? Who needs my love today? Ain't happening. Speak in ways that I will understand. Where you lead me, I will follow. Where you lead me, I will go. Who needs my love today, sweet Spirit? Who needs my love today, oh Lord? Speak in ways that I will understand. Where you lead me, I will follow. Where you lead me, I will go. How must I share today, sweet Spirit? How must I share today, oh Lord? Speak in ways that I will understand. Where you lead me, I will follow. Where you lead me, I will go. How must I share today, sweet Spirit? How must I share today, oh Lord? Speak in ways that I will understand. Where you lead me, I will follow. Where you lead me, I will go. How must I serve today, sweet Spirit? How must I serve today, oh Lord? Speak in ways that I will understand. Where you lead me, I will follow. Where you lead me, I will go. Where you lead me, I will follow. Where you lead me, I will go. Where you lead me, I will follow. Where you lead me, I will go. Excellent. We'll have that down before too much longer. Okay. So this is our time where we just speak what's alive about one of our community values. This morning is joy. Anybody have anything alive in them that they want to share about joy this morning? Going once.
Joy is singing.
Joy is singing. All right. See, it doesn't have to be a big deal or all formal. You can just shout it out from where you are. Because here's the thing. They're community values, which means the community selected them together. And if there's 20 people, there's 20 different experiences of joy. And then in the next moment, there is perhaps 20 new experiences of joy. Because I know I don't have the same experience of joy every day. Okay? So I will share this. For me, joy is an unconditional, steady, peaceful happiness. It's not contingent on anything happening around me. That joy is my birthright. Happiness is situational. I'm in joy all the time. Buy me a pizza, I'm happy until the pizza's gone. And then I'm back to joy. This nonsense that you can't buy happiness, not true. Okay. For those of you that are new, this is a divine idea in the mind of creation to see how much guts the minister has. That's how I'm interpreting it these days. What occurred to me is that this is your community. And so instead of me telling you what I think is helpful for you to hear, I invited questions on what questions you have, so that this time becomes a time of creation answering your questions. We made a decision to turn our will and our lives over to the care of a power greater than ourselves. And so now we're going to find out how that gets contextualized. How do we talk about science of mind without using science of mind words? Okay. So I'm going to take that into our time of meditation and prayer and see what comes up. And so that's what's happening now. We have a brief, and I have shortened the meditation because I got some feedback that it was a little bit too long for some folks. So it's still the same meditation. It's just a bit briefer than it was. For those of us that are seasoned meditators, it'll be short, and that's okay. Inclusion finds the middle ground. That's what we do. So we're going to do that, and then Reggie will bring us out of that with our opening affirmative prayer, also known as spiritual mind treatment. So here we go. But first we're going to do, this is what happens when you do too many things. First we're going to do our candle lighting ritual and our sacred reading. It's okay to throw something at me, Zeta, and go, hey, dude.
Our founder, Reverend Dr. Ernest Holmes, was a dedicated study and a great synthesizer, identifying the common and connecting threads within the various religions, philosophies, and ancient wisdom teachings of the world. Science of Mind is the synthesis of Ernest Holmes' lifetime of study. Let us breathe together as we light a candle honoring some of these faith traditions. As we light the first candle, we honor Christianity as a path of love and forgiveness. As we light the second candle, we honor Buddhism as a path of compassion and Four Noble Truths. As we light the third candle, we honor Judaism as a path of ethical living through sacred law. As we light the fourth candle, we honor Baha'i as a path of unity and peace. As we light the fifth candle, we honor Islam as a path of surrendering to the will of God as the highest call. As we light the sixth candle, we honor Confucianism as a path of deliberate tradition. As we light the seventh candle, we honor Taoism as a path of harmony and balance. As we light the eighth candle, we honor all indigenous peoples' traditions as paths that recognize and honor spirit and all of creation. As we light the ninth candle, we honor Shintoism as a path of optimism and the inherent goodness of humanity. As we light the 10th candle, we honor Hinduism as a path of knowledge, action, and devotion. As we light the 11th candle, we honor Akan as a path that honors the divine, ancestors, and nature. As we light the 12th candle, we honor all New Thought traditions and philosophies as paths of adherence to universal spirit, principles of love and law. As we light this final candle, we honor the multiplicity and diversity within the wholeness of creation as sacred. This morning's sacred reading is titled Real Alchemy, and it comes from pages 163 and 164 of I Had It All the Time by Alan Cohen. The invitation before us is to get our head out of deficiency consciousness and begin to see possibilities where we once saw obstacles. A problem is simply an opportunity that has not been seen in its wholeness. Shift your vision from the part to the whole, and the problem will give way to a solution. There is nothing that spirit of love cannot take and turn into an asset. The next time you are inclined to label a person or a situation as a pain in the ass, stop and rename it a pain in the asset. Yes, there is pain, but yes, there is an asset. There is an opportunity which will empower you if you can discover and make use of it. We are learning spiritual alchemy, taking the lead of life and turning it into gold. The secret of alchemy is to realize that you are the gold. It is useless to make gold, material or metaphoric, out of any substance in the outer world unless you realize that the true treasure lies within. We are spiritual beings, born in the image of a whole and loving God. Know this basic truth, and the life you manifest will reflect your knowledge of your true identity. The motion picture, The Dark Crystal, powerfully underscores the crucial value of joining all the components of the big picture. The film centers on a dying world reduced to two separate factions, the strong but vicious Skeksis and the gentle but powerful mystics. The Skeksis are mighty warriors but have no integrity. The mystics, on the other hand, are quite wise, but they lack motivation. Both camps spend most of their energy attempting to stay separate and protect their private interests. As their world is coming to an end, the mystics and Skeksis must come together in one place, where a miraculous transformation occurs. Both groups mystically merge and meld into one another. The old, degenerated beings in each faction disappear and become new and different creatures of brilliant light and strength. Separate, they were impotent. Together, they form an entity that far surpasses any they could imagine in their protected territories. As a result of this psychic merger, their dying world returns to life. The parched and barren desert blooms again. Flowers and animals return, and their formerly hopeless existence is resurrected as a realm of majestic beauty. In becoming greater, neither of the groups had to give up what they were. Each faction contained a unique element, crucial to the creation of the whole being. The separation of their world into polarities was exactly what weakened it and caused it to die. And the bringing together of the polarities restored it to life. The weakness of each group, or the weaknesses of each group, were magnified as they pulled apart, and their strengths were amplified in unity. So it is.
It's okay.
In silence, there is peace. In the silence, there is unspoken joy. In the silence, there's release from a world full of chaos and noise. So I wait for these precious moments when I hear all that could never be said, and right here in this holy silence I find God, I find myself.
good it is to be right here, right now, in this time of celebration. Please join me in this affirmative prayer and know with me that there is only one power, one presence, one mind, one infinite intelligence that is expressing itself as each one here. Each one an expression of joy, of love, of light, of peace. We embrace this joy. We embrace this love, making it our own, knowing that we are one in spirit, one in heart, one in mind, one life. And so we are all connected by this power of love. And from this place of connection, I speak this word, knowing that this celebration service is God in expression. I know that we are nourished by every morsel of wisdom and every morsel of food. We are transformed and uplifted by the words spoken here today and the music played and the smiles that we see and give. And so I bless this time together, knowing that it is a celebration of joy, knowing that it is a time of upliftment and transformation. We are aware of these blessings. We are aware of our assets. And we just give great thanks for all of it, for this time together, for this community that is ever expanding and ever growing and ever prosperous and ever loving. This consciousness that we are uplifting today, we are taking out into the world. We are going forth with an expectancy of good and grace and love, knowing that what we put our attention to is what comes back to us. And so in gratitude, we simply let go, allow the law to do its thing, and say yes. And together we say, and so it is.
So it is.
Namaste.
Let us remain in this sacred space of Kumji, relaxed, open, ready to receive spiritual energy. As we listen to this poem from Kailash Kokopelli, entitled Love is the Essence. Pain of the past, future fear, fade away and disappear into the moment of now and here. Love is the essence within. She heals all the wounds of the soul there have been. She puts you together tears you apart, to come closer to the source and sacred heart. Bless all the tears and sorrow, for they are keys to joy and a new tomorrow. Surrender to the highest love inside, and all shadows will dissolve into the light. Surrender to the highest love inside. And all fear will dissolve into the light. Love is the essence. Yeah.
That again. There we go. Let's take a breath together. Hey. So our theme for the year is first thing first. Notice there's no S, because you can only put one thing first. we like multitasking has infiltrated everything, and it's just a lie. You can only do one thing at a time. Right? So first thing first. Now we all get to decide what that is, because depending on where you are and what you're doing, the first thing is going to change. What occurred to me as last year, because just so you know, this stuff starts planning itself like around June, the next year starts coming. And so what occurred to me is we have a ton of knowledge, but one of the things that we really don't have in science of mind is a lot of nuts and bolt tools, how to actually use all this knowledge that we have. And what occurred to me is what keeps me spiritually fit and what grows me is living by the spiritual principles of the 12 steps and 12 traditions of recovery. Fill in the blank, whatever recovery, because there are hundreds of organizations that use these 12 steps. It doesn't have to be a substance, right? There's a great book that Dale introduced me to, The 12 Steps for Everybody Who Wants Them. Right? So that book is available to you. It's not attached to anything or anybody. And it plans itself, because there's 12 steps, 12 traditions, and 12 months. So that got real easy. Right? So we do the first 2 weeks, we do the steps. Second 2 weeks, we do the tradition. This month we have 5 Sundays. So the 5th Sunday, we're actually going to do a workshop format where we take what we've learned for the first 3 months and actually put them into practice. on that Sunday. And that's also our brunch Sunday, where we break all the rules and you're invited to bring your favorite brunch item to share. And yes, we actually have brunch during the service. Because if you've known me for more than 5 minutes, you know I have a tendency to break rules anyway, so why not? So this morning, we're starting with step 3. The literal reading of step 3 is this. We made a decision to turn our will and our lives over to the care of God as we understood Him. Now, right off the bat, I rephrase that to God as we understood God. Because I'm looking at a whole lot of women, and if God is a him, what does that do for you? I'm like, no. That we're, if all life is made in the image and likeness of whatever this is, it has to not have a gender and yet have all genders. Right? How do we talk about science of mind without using science of mind words? We get real. First of all, I would need somebody to explain to me which words are science of mind words. I don't think we as a spiritual movement actually own words. Right? They're just words. They're just words. Just like this step is just words. For those of you that are unfamiliar, there are spiritual worksheets, weekly study guides. Thank you, Laura Service, for bringing the racks. So now they're actually organized, because by the end of the year, there's going to be 52 folders over there. So thank you for bringing that. And they're not complicated. They're just quick questions to help you explore what's operating in you. There's no right or wrong answer. Like, here's a tough one. What is your decision-making process? Now, most of us don't even stop to think about that stuff. We just make decisions and then act as if somebody else made them when they don't work out the way we like. Anybody else? Who made that decision in my life? You will find the perpetrator in the mirror. Because we make all of our decisions. We do. But what does it even mean to make a decision? Because that's how this step starts. We made a decision. Now, it implies action, but it doesn't actually say you took any. Okay? If you got 3 birds sitting on a wire, and 2 of them decide to fly away, how many birds are sitting on the wire? 3. Ain't nobody done nothing. Nobody left. They just decided to leave. They didn't actually fly away. Okay? But most of us interpret it as 1. Because the other 2 decided to do something. How many times have you made a decision where you didn't do anything after deciding? Anybody? Right? I made a decision. I'm not going to act on it, but I decided. Newsflash. To make a decision to do something and then not do it is to actually decide to not do it. Just so you know. Because I have a tendency to tell the truth. Right? Pay attention to what you're actually doing. That'll tell you what you actually decided. But sometimes we want to tell ourselves we decided what we think we should decide. Stop shoulding on yourself. Stop shoulding on each other. It just makes us messy. Right? We made a decision to turn our will and our life over. What is your will? No? What is your life? Do you know? Is it, for you, is your life simply the fact that you breathe and have blood running through your veins? Or is your life all of the activities that happen from choices that you make? What does it mean to you to turn something over? What does the care of mean? Because this step does not say, I advocated all of my power to a God outside of me to tell me what to do so that I could be a victim of spirituality. That is not what it says. It says to the care of. Anybody ever been in the hospital? Right? Your body was in the care of people. You didn't advocate your power of choice. Right? Even at our sickest, we still have a legal right to refuse treatment. You turn your will and your life over to the care of. And I invite you to, if God is a trigger word for you, put whatever word works for you. Creation, love, life, a power greater than yourself. And a power greater than yourself can be your spiritual community. Right? When I am mentally, when I see something on TV, like I saw this week, that horrifies my sense of humanity. I need a power greater than myself to help me remember spiritual principle. And so I pick up the phone and I call my ministerial colleagues, I call mentors, I call practitioners to remind me. Because being a minister doesn't make me infallible. It just demands that I recognize when I'm failing and get back on track. What is your higher power? Where is a power greater than yourself when you need support? Who do you trust to turn your will and your life over to the care of? It can be a spouse. It can be a child. It can be a group. It can be creation itself. It's your right to choose what that power is. And it's completely yours. A God of your own understanding doesn't require anybody else's input. Doesn't require anybody's approval. You get to decide how you connect spiritually. Yes, we teach certain things. That you are creation expressing. Now, how you relate to that, that's up to you. I don't relate to it today the same way I related to it when I was 16. I don't relate to it the same today as I did the day I stood in a field in Loudoun County, Virginia at the fairgrounds, screaming into the sky to God to get out of my life and leave me alone and stop showing me things I can't do anything about. And here's what happened. I stopped being aware. Because creation responds, yes, even when what we're asking for is detrimental to us. Because creation doesn't judge. It doesn't filter. It just says, okay. So you get to decide. What we teach in Science of Mind is that creation can only do for you what you will allow it to do through you, as you. So you're as limited as you choose to be. That's the only thing limiting us, is our own choice. What are you willing to turn your will and your life over to the care of? that requires us to trust. How do you build trust? Last time I checked, that requires risk. Requires risk. I have never built 1 ounce of trust without risking something. It's like courage. Like we expect people to be courageous while we're telling them that fear is unnecessary. Please help me understand that. I'll wait. Explain it to me like I'm 2. If you don't have fear, where's courage? Fear is not a bad thing. Fear is a normal human response. In fact, it's a normal, natural response for everything. Everything that has the ability to scurry away from danger does so. When was the last time you stood out in nature and berated a rabbit from running from you? Never. That's the natural response of fear. We're the only species that I'm aware of that berates ourselves for having it. And I think it comes from deep social conditioning, primarily misogyny. Right? We are living in a time where the violence of strength is being played out in a public domain. If a woman were to play it out that way, it would be completely vilified. Let's tell the truth. Let's tell the truth. For me, as a white man, aggression is power. It's strength. Let's be clear, that's bullshit. It's a lie. It's a justification. The same thing plays out for a man of color. He'll be lucky if he lives through it. Let's tell the truth. The same thing plays out for a white woman. She has more grace than a woman of color, but the conditioning shows up as guilt and shame that teaches her to silence her own God-given brilliance, to hide the internal warning signs that are not negative, they're just there. What are you turning your will and your life over to the care of? Social conditioning? Or a power greater than yourself that is love, that is the nature of your being, that is the brilliance of that internal alarm system. Notice real fear, biological fear, it does not have a conversation with you. It gives you one-word commands. Stop, go, run, duck. It doesn't have a conversation. So if there's a lot of conversation, maybe you've turned your will and your life over to the care of generational trauma and social conditioning. Here's the good news. You're one choice away from stepping out of that. It's as simple as ain't a word of truth in this. Ain't a word of truth in it. And remind yourself of what is true. And if you can't remember what's true, you pick up the phone and call somebody who can. You pick up the phone and reach out to any power greater than yourself in that moment. Whether it's a practitioner, whether it's a friend in the community, whoever it is. And it's okay to say, I have forgotten who I am. Please remind me. And all you need to say when you get that phone call is you are a brilliant, one of a kind, never to be repeated, divine idea in the mind of God. That's who you are. You are made out of perfection. The substance of you is whole, perfect, and complete. That's who you are. You are not your behavior. You are the substance of your being. That's who you are. There's a difference between who we are and what we are. We live in a society that assigns identities based on behaviors. Here's my most ministerial advice. Let that shit go. You are not your behavior. What's accurate is if I tell a lie, I am a person who told a lie. That is not what we do in this society. What we say is, you are a liar. We assign an entire identity based on a behavior. A, stop doing it. B, stop owning it. Growing up right over and down the road in Leesburg, Virginia, in the hood, county jail, whorehouse, our house, and the rest of the hood. I'm not kidding. It was the hood. Old man Amos used to sit on his front porch. And just like kids do, we'd be crying about something. And old Mr. Amos would say, "Child, get up here." And he's like, "What is the matter with you today?" And we'd tell him. And usually it was somebody called me this or somebody said that. Oh man, Mr. Amos, he's eating his newspaper, spitting in his spittoon. He never even looked up at us. He just chuckled. He said, "You are what you answer to, child. If it ain't you, don't answer. You are what you answer to. If it's not you, don't answer." Now, it took me years to really get that. If somebody calls me stupid and I'm not stupid, they're not talking to me. If somebody calls me ugly and I know I'm not ugly, they're not talking to me. They're just spewing their idea audibly. You are what you answer to. If it's not you, stop answering. Stop answering. It's that simple. And if there's something in you that it taps, there's where your healing work is. Turn it over to a power greater than yourself to remind you of the truth of you. Surrender so you don't have to fight anymore. Because as long as that idea, as long as that lie is alive, you're in battle with it. And as long as you're in battle with it, it can't leave. Because you haven't engaged. If you want it to leave, let it go. If you got a helium balloon, as long as you hold on, it can't go anywhere. The minute you let go, gone. All of the stuff you're holding on to is the same way. If you really don't want it, let go. And if you really do want it, then just get honest with yourself. I'm keeping it because I'm getting something out of it. It's not good or bad. It's not right or wrong. Just get honest. Because then you can decide. We made a decision. We made a decision. How do we talk about science of mind without using science of mind words? Here's an example. The 12 steps are a brilliant example. They come out of metaphysics. For those of you who don't know, the big book of AA, Bill and Bob were in residence on Emma Curtis Hopkins' High Watch Farm for the majority of time they wrote that book. It's based in spiritual principles. Think about it. 1930s, to have the language of a God of your own understanding. That did not come out of organized religion, people. Right? That was heresy in 1930s. Thank God for the heretics. I invite you to be one. Right? If you want language that's not jargon, hold yourself to task. What does the jargon mean to you? Find other words that say the same thing. Don't depend on me to give you new words, because that won't work. Those are my words. What are your words? Right? What makes sense to you? What resonates for you? And if somebody asks you a question, what do you mean by that? Be ready to answer it. If you can't answer it, perhaps don't say it in the first place. What if we all stopped saying things that we can't substantiate? What if we all stopped uttering beliefs that we're not willing to stand behind and say, oh, that's easy. This is what that means to me. Because if you don't know what it means to you, why are you repeating it? I'm just saying. Why would you repeat something that isn't yours? Khalil Gibran speaks to that all the time. Right? Pick a subject, any subject. It's better that you not work than go to work not understanding that your work is a gift. It's better that you not be in relationships than you be in a relationship where you don't understand what the relationship is. He says it all through his writings over and over again in different ways. It's better to sit on the sidewalk and beg for money than to go to work if you don't understand the sacredness of work. That's Khalil Gibran. Right? Understand what you're doing. Turn your will and your life over to the care of. You don't turn your brain over to the programming of. That's not what it says. It doesn't say, I turn my behavior over to be dictated to by. That is not what it says. Turn your will and your life. I will close with this, because this is a sticky point for a lot of us. Is that we think there is a God, that we think that there's a God outside of us that has a will for us. God's will is you. God is choosing to express itself as you. That's God's will, is to express and to experience as you. That's it. Doesn't have an agenda. It doesn't have a plan, because that suggests you don't have choice. And you do. The only will God has, creation has, Spirit has, is to express. And it expresses in exquisite, individualized multiplicity. No two things alike. You are one of those. That is the infinite's will, is to experience itself as you. Perhaps we just get to show it a good time. Perhaps just show creation a good time. Let's take this into prayer. One life, one love, one peace, one power, one presence, one unnameable everything. that the humanity in me insists on naming. It is beyond any name. And so I recognize it has many, many names. And that it is more than any one of them. More than the totality of them. It is more than the humanness of me can comprehend. And yet, the essence of me recognizes it because it is the self. It recognizes itself expressing as my life. And what is true of me is true of all creation. Every expression of creation, whole, perfect, and complete substance expressing for the sole purpose of experiencing itself as that individualized idea, smile in the heart of God, creation, whatever we call it. And so what is true of me must be true of all life, never separate. And so I claim and affirm that every expression of creation is awakening to the truth of its being. And that as we awaken, we surrender, we stop fighting, and free fall into the glory of what is. That we joyously decide to turn our will and our life over to the care of something greater than our human selves, to the care of the whole, to the harmonious operation of one. Knowing that only good can come of it. And that simply by choosing, deciding to surrender, creation says yes and instantly cares for itself in all forms. And so I know it's already done. And I know that letting go is that process of everything unlike it bubbling to the top to be transformed. And so I step into the yes, into the messiness of the yes, into the glory of the yes. And I trust the care that I am given to guide, to sustain. And so I can let go. I can let go of my agenda. I can let go of any investment in a particular outcome and simply live fully in the now. Ashe. Shalom. Aho. Amen. Amen. And so it is. Just take a breath. I love you. Get myself out of Rebecca's way. There we go.
Ooh. Wow. So we are up to our conscious giving time. Sorry. There are several ways to give. You can text the word give to 410-498-6175. You can mail a check to 659 Cog Court, Millersville, Maryland, 21108. You can access our giving portal on our website, columbiacsl.com/donate. Once accessed, you can give a one-time gift or set up a recurring gift. If you have any challenges, please reach out to the Reverend so that he may assist you. And I invite Gary, it looks like he is all set up, to come in as we move into our time of conscious giving. The intentional participation of the law of circulation. So I invite you to join me in speaking our community prosperity affirmation. I affirm that the abundance of creation is my abundance. I give freely as creation gives to me. I give through Columbia Center for Spiritual Living to ensure its continued availability to all spiritual seekers. Ushers, please receive the gifts as Gary blesses us.
universal, magnetic, is infusing us with each and every breath.
Thank you, Gary. I love that little smile too. I just love it when you perform. So now we're going to bless our offering. Do I just bless it? Oh, I just bless it.
There's no script for that.
Well, thank you. If that's the only word that you utter in prayers, thank you. Thank you for the blessing of the money that allows us to continue to put the principles of the science of mind into our community, greater, far away, to the future. Amen, and so it is. So, spiritual support is available. There are practitioners, and if you want to pray with a practitioner, you can contact one of us, because I am one of them, at our website, columbiacsl.com/practitioners. You can also send a prayer request by sending an email to prayer@columbiacsl.com. Request prayer by completing a prayer request form over by the window and placing it in the black basket over there on the table. And today, Reggie will be available to pray with you immediately after service in the lobby behind the shogi screen. All right, so this is our affirmation. Spirit expressing as me is my compass. I follow my inner guidance. Spirit expressing as me is my compass. I follow my inner guidance.
So we have a couple of announcements that came in late that didn't get on the announcement reel. So where did I do with those? There they are. Can you turn this mic down just a little bit, Vaughn? The minister one? It's way too hot. The other thing I want to do is thank some people before I do these announcements and our closing song. So, thank you, Gary Hartnett, for making it rain. Thank you, Jesse Dabbs and Zeta Betts, for our live stream. Thank you, Vaughn, for helping me with the audio stuff. Thank you, Zeta, for also being our reader.
Awesome.
Thank you, Reggie, for being our licensed practitioner of the day. And for helping. Reggie also helped set up stuff because she was here like way early just being busy. Thank you. Thank you, Rita, for our hospitality. Thank you, Tom, for our welcoming. Thank you, Deborah, for engaging our online community. Thank you, Dale and Tom, for being ushers. Thank you, Rebecca, for being our presider. Thank you. So here's what I want to say. There are multiple opportunities to get engaged in the service of this community. One of the biggest components of any recovery program, spiritual or otherwise, is service. We keep what we have by giving it away. Think about it like this. Creation is always in service to you, and so every time you are in service to anything else, you are in service to creation. That's the reciprocity. So if things are important that we do here, everybody needs to pitch in and have ownership. And that's not to be threatening at all. It's just simply to acknowledge if people stop doing it, what that communicates is that it's not important. And so we will just let it stop. Because I want to honor that. If it's really not important that we have hospitality, then we just let hospitality go. If it's not important that we welcome folks, we just let it go and see what happens. Because that's how life unfolds. We let stuff go and see what comes next. If you want it, if it's important to you, there are sign-up sheets over there. Jump in. And if you're new to the community, you do not have to be here for a certain number of minutes or days or months to qualify. Somebody shared with me that they were scared to jump in too early because they thought they'd be perceived as taking over. I can't tell you how you'll be perceived, but if you are, that's not your issue. That's their issue. That's whoever's holding that perception's issue. That's not yours. So, yeah. Let it go. All right. These are two announcements that came in late. What did I do with them? Good Lord, Rafe. There they are. One of them is really like immediate. This one is next week. Allyship, unveiling commonalities. This is specific to women. Okay? We are answering the call to continue gathering to cultivate genuine allyship amongst women. This is an invitation for women who are looking for a way to be part of cultivating allyship, solidarity, and to become more conscious of our collective strengths. Our intention is to leave you invigorated with hope, a deeper and expanded sense of sisterhood, and supportive new collaborations. Let's learn, grow, and unite in our vast array of strengths as women. That is an online event, Saturday, March 8th, from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. It is a free event. You can access that through our Columbia CSL website and on the newsletter. Now, the one that's like, speak now or forever hold your peace, go sign up in a hurry, is the Ramadan Iftar dinner. This is the meal that is eaten by Muslims to break their fast after sunset every day during Ramadan. We have been invited by the Turkish American inhabitants group to join them on Wednesday, March 5th from 5:30 to 7:30. It is happening on the 4th floor of the Rouse Company Foundation Student Services Hall at Howard Community College. Apparently, they didn't make that title quite long enough. Holy moly. It is intentionally an interfaith dinner. It is about interfaith communication. It is an invitation to celebrate community, to dialogue with one another. They do ask that we RSVP. You have it's ultimately a free event, and it gives you the opportunity to sponsor your own meal or sponsor a table. I can tell you, Deborah and I will be there, and I hope some of you will choose to join us as well. This too is on our website events page and will be in the newsletter that comes out later today. If you're not signed up for the newsletter and you want to be, there is a visitor form over there, or just grab a piece of paper and put your email address on it and just say, sign me up. It's that hard. Okay. All right. That's it. So now, this is your call to action. I release. I let go. I let the Spirit run my life. Sing it like you mean it. If you feel like standing, do so. This is our closing song. Here we go. Let the Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm like you mean it. Spirit, run my life. Yes, my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. I release with my faith. I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. I release and I let go. Let the Spirit run my life. Let my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. Release and I let go. Let the Spirit run my life. My heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. Have a great week.